What is up, friends? MK, Master. Master, you want to join? Oh. Oh, man. What did you guys do today? Or what are you doing right now? Friday night? It's got plans. Let me post this on X. No, 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 no. Alright, Master might come in here in a bit. Nothing's happening. It's super boring. Nothing. If we can break back above here, maybe over the weekend, but it's always tough when Bitcoin closes on a Friday like this. This doesn't look that bullish a lot of the time. I don't know. A lot of the time when we just grind sideways like this, it's just like preliminary to another move down. But wave basis still thinks we've bottomed here. We've got, what, like less than a week until this ETF's supposed to be live, so. ETH it was like, I don't know, it looked actually not that great. When was it? Wasn't it here? May of 2024? I'm pretty sure it was here. And it pumped back to the highs before it dropped back down. Right? When was the ETF? I think it's a lot different here. Oh, it was July? Oh no. Oh yeah, it was July 23rd. But it was May 23rd that it was announced as it was going to be approved. That's why you got this major candle. I think that was on the news. Hey Fernando, my cat wants to... You can come up here, buddy. Buddy, that's my microphone. But yeah, so it had this massive candle. Although, like, this was May 2024, so crypto is like... Bitcoin was basically topping out. And ETH BTC was in this long-term downtrend. I don't know if you can just compare it one-to-one, because I feel like there was a lot of anticipation and hype around an ETH ETF, like speculation that it would be super bullish. And I think same with Bitcoin. But I think there's almost no anticipation or broader market awareness of the Litecoin ETF. I mean, yeah, what? This is weird. August 17th? Why was there a giant search increase in search interest in August? I don't remember any sort of news. But relatively speaking, yeah, there's not. I don't see it, at least. I don't know how good of a gauge that is, but I don't see that much. And my cat sometimes just wants to lay on top of me. It's kind of hard right now. He's staring at me. I'll take a picture of him. Yeah, so I've been thinking Litecoin's ETF would be underhyped and then inflows would outperform expectations. It kind of looks like that's playing out. But Litecoin's basically following the rest of the cryptocurrency market. It's not doing much at all. I don't know, we're at support against altcoins. It shouldn't be too much longer. The August search bump, it could have been. But I thought, yeah, it could have been that. The MEI buy was like, when was that? At 107? Was that in July? I think so. I have a I have a feeling that this is going to be correct. Whoops. How many people do you guys think would be here if Bitcoin, like what's the general, if price at 120K and everyone's here because they expect number go up, like what's like their internal psychology, like internal risk reward? Are they really think it's gonna go to $1 million? Like why is there so much demand holding price above 100K? And how many people would still be here if they thought Bitcoin would trade sideways and just maintain stable purchasing power? If it just became a store of value and it just literally was going to go sideways, or if you knew that it was going to do this, maybe go up with inflation. Because I feel like the most people in cryptocurrency or Bitcoin expect like 30-40% year over year growth. And if it doesn't perform as expected or anticipated, they'll all capitulate. So whenever this 100% year over year growth trend breaks, I think you're going to have such a long period, unless monetary adoption just skyrockets, or it goes sideways. It's funny looking at this old chart. This is like, I drew this in 2019. I have to move this over. I don't want to move it. I haven't touched this in a long time. I think I aligned this like a couple years back. But after this high is made, it could be 7 years, 8 years before it makes new all-time highs, just in nominal terms. I don't know what's going to happen to the dollar by the mid-2030s, but could be bad. Likely bad. Looks right below her. I don't know, what did I even, I don't think I was trying to be accurate with price. Mark this off at 45K. I thought Bitcoin was going to top way sooner. It's funny that you see Eric Trump, or whoever the Trump kid is, on TV every day. Like, after he raked people and took their Bitcoin and ETH, now he's just pumping. Like, he pumped his Trump coin, pumped World Liberty Financial. I wonder how much they sold. And I'm sure they just bought Bitcoin and ETH with it. They just basically launched their meme coin to take people's other coins. And now all they talk about is Bitcoin and ETH on TV every day. It's kind of funny. They don't talk about their own coins anymore. Or maybe they do, but I only see the highlights. This. Well, it's gonna be weird. If Litecoin can go sideways despite increasing its monetary adoption by 10x since the lows of December 2018. If Bitcoin can increase its monetization fast enough, which it won't, it's gone sideways forever. I'd expect like a longer bear market than what happened with Litecoin, unless it's just the macroeconomic environment could catalyze adoption. But it spent 15 years in a bull market. What is the general time average length of a correction after like a super cycle? like 0.618, the length of the bull market at least. So yeah, 6-7 years of sideways and down. That'll destroy almost every believer. They'll move on. Just like it's destroyed everyone around Litecoin. It's ironic to me because it's like the marketing of Bitcoin maximalists was always like high time preference. But they've been rewarded the most in the shortest amount of time. And they're complaining even now that price isn't going up. That's what is crazy to me. Think Bitcoin can flip gold? Well, I think gold's rallying on speculation too. I don't see it as much different. I don't think gold's going to be remonetized. So despite the charts of gold and silver looking bullish, I think it's mostly psychology driving gold and silver. Could be crazy mania rally though. Who knows? What if this hype dies around gold and silver, it's never remonetized, then it just drops. With inflation and the demand for silver and gold and other things though, I doubt it'll just collapse. But I don't think it's gonna, it's impossible to use gold and silver as money for most people. Yeah, true, Ragnarok. It is kind of a speculative store of value, just like Bitcoin. Although I think there's more monetary demand for it than Bitcoin. Well, I know there is. I think you can go to Asia and India and see far more people trading gold around. Most of them just hoard it though. They'll just keep it in their house, not trading it daily. But yeah, I don't think most people will self-custody there. I think you'll have to do that if the world moves to using cryptocurrency. Have to learn how to use it yourself, but the trend has been the opposite way of just letting centralized institutions control all the coin. Yeah, same thing with Bitcoin. People just hoard it. It's based on the expectation that price will increase or that someone will accept it in the future. But I think Bitcoin's attracted way more of the short-term hype speculators than gold or silver ever has. I think gold and silver people had to move my cat, are far more patient. And aren't trying to make 100 times their money. Crypto is similar to the metals in like the late 70s, early 80s. Where there's like this absolute mania run from 30 bucks to 700-800. This is like the 2017 run of Bitcoin. And this was like the 2018 bear market where I had this descending triangle. It's so similar. And the psychology was probably the same. This is similar to Bitcoin 2021. We might get something like this in Bitcoin to finish off this cycle. Yeah, you think the crypto market cap overall will flip gold? I think eventually it will too, but I think eventually if the tech is good enough to enable like enough privacy for people to transact with it without going to jail, then probably some of the high value individuals just decide to operate solely on crypto. But that's like where the real value lies, not in the stuff that is pumped, like in all the proof of stake chains. It's in the privacy coins and proof of work monies. I think, I don't know. I don't know what the monetization limit of Bitcoin is, but I think it's not more than $5 trillion in today's money for one chain. But if I don't think crypto is gonna move like Raoul Pal and those guys think to 100 trillion. All right, we got 13 people in here. Perfect. What do you guys think? You think this is bottoming here now, or you think we have one more leg down? Yeah, we're on a 4-hour 9 and a 12-hour 9. One more. Whoops. Maybe to 94. It's possible. Whoops. Watching XRP. Is it? Yeah, it looks relatively weaker. This whole chart structure looks bad. It looks parabolic down. in the shorter time frames. Weaker rallies straight into this horizontal support. Less and less buy pressure. I feel like descending triangles and ascending triangles are one of the most reliable patterns. Are there still daily YouTube videos for XRP with 10,000 views? Why is this guy just always in his car? I feel like if you see these headlines, this is like definitely don't buy this thing. I almost fainted. Dude, the fact that she's doing this, I feel like she's getting paid. Is she told to act like this? It seems weird. She used to be kind of normal, I thought. This Wendy girl? Or is she just seeing other influencers get views by doing the same thing, so they're copying each other? Like, look at this thumbnail. Oh, I think we listened to this. These are all from today. I'm seeing a lot of all-in on crypto posts. Those are like top signs, at least for, or at least late cycle signs. Does this guy really care about Bitcoin? I don't know, man. Good evening, Nick. What's up? How you doing? Yeah, I'm sad there's no like Andreas Antonopoulos videos, and even though Trace Mayer was a maximalist, I always liked his content. Like, I would actually watch this, even though I disagree with the idea. It's weird. He came back, but he was talking about Mimble Wimble, and all the Bitcoin maxis hated on him, and then he disappeared for like 5 years. And where did Andreas go? Did he just leave? I guess he did this 7 months ago. Yeah, I think flipping finance. Maybe he does do this full time. He just needs a bigger following. I'm too boring. My personality is just not like out there, but he does a good job. Aztec too.
Special relationship with Litecoin.
Yeah, he's likable. That guy blocked you today? Nice. It's 1 point if you get blocked by a maxi. What I don't understand is like, okay, the narrative around XRP and its network adoption is the same as when it was half of a cent. And I don't think it's gone anywhere. It's just price has gone up. And I feel like it's so hard for people to value cryptocurrencies, and you have this unit bias that if you have enough money, you can pump a tiny cap asset like this over a short period of time, and it will just establish a new trading range on narratives. People will buy in, and then you drive it one last time. I mean, this is probably organic mania, but then have so many believers that they just average down, wait for the next pump. And you've printed a ton of tokens. You can give them out to influencers and then coordinate a pump, work with market makers. It just keeps establishing higher trading ranges. That's what I feel like happens in crypto. And it's like, what changed with Dogecoin? Why would you be stacking it at 200x the price when the network activity has gone nowhere? This market is a meme. But it's weird how psychology works. Nobody will be interested in it down here. But if you pump it like this, then there's a shit ton of people that want to average all the way down. What up, Eli? Leaving Oregon in the morning? Oh, hell yeah. Fuck. Bear trap, send it, Nick. It might be the sign. It probably is going to be... This is going to be correct now. Like, right when you get back, we're going to have this major God candle. Start this move to all-time highs. And then we'll ban you from Oregon until Masters price targets are hit. I think I described that pretty well. Thank you. Seriously, that's what happens in Bitcoin too. I mean, people think Bitcoin's not like a meme coin, but it's weird that a lot, like Tom Lee's even talked about it. It's like most of Bitcoin's gains happened over like 12 or 13 days in the year. And people don't know how to value Bitcoin either. So it doesn't matter what price it's at. It's like people are just convinced to stack it because it's going to go up. And they believe in whatever narrative they're selling. And so it's just crazy. Nobody was interested in it till it pumped. And you just sell narratives all day long. There's just no big giant entity behind Litecoin that will pump it. Could have happened in 2017. Coordinated for miners pumping it. 'Cause it wasn't really tradable at many places. So it's easy on only a few exchanges to move the price. Unmechanized. How you doing, sir? Oh, I didn't see MK's. She's a mom, she's hustling. Yeah. I want to know if those XRP people are paid. I'm doing fine. I'd like to see this break out. Nick, you should learn Ichimoku and then explain this to all of us. Because these Ichimoku guys have been dominating. Oh, I didn't realize I can start a poll here. Let's start a poll. Will Litecoin break all-time highs by... Oh no. Let's say will Litecoin break above 150 by in October. See what you guys think. Start poll. You know, you're sick of it. You should learn it. I feel like it's worked well, but I don't understand any of the nuances involved. The only thing I picked up from Ichimoku is that trading above the cloud is generally bullish. This Chiku span line, if it's above the price, or if it's below the price or about to enter these candles, it's tough for it to trend. It seems like a lot of things that should be lagging indicators actually act as leading indicators. I guess it makes sense. Like when just wick down to touch the 50-week moving average. But it's interesting because this is the first time this 100-week crossed the 200-week moving average. That only happened once prior. But all the short-term moving averages have crossed the long-term. I would assume that's bullish. This trend is changing from sideways to up. If you just use this 100 period 3-week moving average, you could have traded this really well. Consolidated between these two. Broke up, broke below, and now it's retesting it. Alright, so our poll is 80-20. I want to release these price videos that I made The first one's 150, then 250, then all-time highs, then price discovery. Nick, what do you think of this XRP chart? This looks like it's gonna break down. I should make a video on why XRP's long-term value is or at least there's a high chance it's zero. That's weird. Litecoin showing up as top 5 coins bought on Coinbase. Maybe Binance is just short. What did anyone ever figure out what happened with that like 2 million Litecoin transaction? Like they sent a test transaction and they sent 2 million Litecoin. They removed 200,000. Then they sent a test transaction again. What's up, Joss? How's Australia going? Australia. Yeah, I mean $100 million from Light Strategy. How much did Luxfolio buy? Hey, look at stocks. Emerging markets look like they're breaking out finally after 10 years of sideways, or 15. I feel like a lot of the dollar demand created is just to buy US financial assets. People need dollars to purchase US stocks, real estate. Work is picking up. That's good. Wintermute raking it up. Yeah, it would be weird if there was a massive like off the book short that you couldn't see on Litecoin. by like Tether or someone that has basically infinite money. But they don't have infinite Litecoin, so if that was happening, it would unwind at some point. It's weird. Overall, it was like the biggest liquidation day or event of the year, but for Litecoin, it wasn't. Like Doge, all these other coins had massive liquidation events. Even Bitcoin. But not LTC. It's funny. Yeah, like every coin broke the previous high in terms of coins liquidated. LTC's was way lower. It was decent, but not as crazy. Yeah, I forgot. Australia's like opposite seasons. It's like you're moving into spring and we're moving into fall. Oh. What else can I do here? Oh, nothing. Alright, so 15 people voted. And 12 people said yes. 3 said no. Alright, we'll see. I think the crowd's right here. Send it. Freaking send it. I know Master doesn't think this is possible, but this would be the most bullish scenario for Litecoin. Like if Bitcoin's at 220k, 250k in March of next year in spring, And this is the most vertical part of the rise. I don't know how Bitcoin fees would not drive Litecoin to be the dominant chain space. Would you post on Mechanized this channel? Just draw a trend line to the top here. Draw like this. This looks more parallel. The structure in Litecoin now looks more like this on a longer time frame. Send it to 20K. What's up, Babachi? Yeah, Christmas in the summer would be kind of cool. Be interesting. I think I'm ready for winter. I like fall and winter. Assuming we get this breakout, I can't wait for the next crypto winter. The bear market of bear markets. Oh, I see. Sideways action's been invalidated? Yeah. I see what you mean. We did have a trend change here once we broke the highs and then formed a higher low instead of coming back down to the lows. It's happening so slowly that nobody notices. I really don't get why nobody has noticed the highest performing altcoins have had weak early cycle performance and perform the best at the very end. Because it's XRP with the 900x rally and then Doge with the 150x rally. Did the same thing. This was really 4 months of green candles. And it was done. It's like, you could either notice it from a technical perspective or fundamentally. This is taken longer, so it might be longer than 4 months. It could be, yeah, 6, 7, 8 of extreme rally. I wonder how long it takes Bitcoin treasury companies to diversify. retested the sideways trend line. You mean like here? It looks pretty similar if you just use the moving averages. Just can't believe how we've had this much selling pressure. Like, sellers have been able to cap price. Look at the second pick he posted. Yeah. Yeah, we're grinding sideways on this slowly increasing, very drawn out higher lows, and now the rate of change has accelerated. It's taken forever. What else do we do? It's a bit boring. I bet Bitcoin just does almost nothing this whole weekend. Let's just look at seasonality for a second. Look at quarterly candles for Bitcoin and Litecoin. Historically, okay, this is Q3, Q4, Q2, Q4. This is like a cycle top. So the first cycle top was Q4, second cycle top, Q4. This is Q4, Q1. So like the last 3 cycles had massive green candles in Q4. And Bitcoin's biggest rally this whole cycle so far happened in Q4 of 2023. I think that percentage move was larger than, so up 60%, and this was 70. So Q4 and Q1, strongest quarters. This again was Q4. Q2, and then the third quarter of every year hasn't been that great. Even in 2017, it was the weaker. Q2 and 4 were stronger. Has Bitcoin ever had a strong summer? This Q3 candle? Not really. Like even July of Q3 of 2016, it was red. And it was the weakest 3-month period in 2017. It was red in 2019. Nothing in 2018. Red in 2023. It's weird how often this is played out. Super weak in 24. Like it's been a really low volatility 3-month period since inception. I think if you wanted to pump Litecoin, you'd try to make it as violent as possible. Like if you were trying to pump something, and you'd probably want it. Like if I wouldn't ever pump something randomly to try to extract the money from the market, but there is a psychological, like mass psychological point where everyone will pay attention, and you'd want to have enough capital to continuously pump it. Because the longer and harder it moves, the more people you'll convince. Especially if you combine it with marketing. All over the place. The Russell 2000. What's up, Eric? I didn't see you before. How you doing? Russell 2000 probably will move much stronger than the large cap indexes at the end of this. I mean, it's historically so low. I mean, the last time it was this low against the S&P 500 was in like late 90s during the dot-com bubble. And it could be similar, like with AI stuff driving so much capital into those stocks that you're seeing outperformance there. But even so, Russell did have a couple month period where it rallied much faster. Somebody wanted me to look at Verge before. I don't know. I don't know. Oh. Yeah, I wish we had better on-chain stats for Litecoin, and they just don't exist anymore. Wish we could look at holder by age, right? Like 1 year plus, 2 to 5 years, 5 years plus. And look at miner reserves as well. Maybe they got rid of it because miners started accumulating Litecoin. And they didn't want to tell the rest of the market before they filled their bags. But this is the last data point we have. I actually think it was before this. They got rid of it a few months ago, but it does look similar to 2017. Vanguard is gonna launch crypto ETFs. If altcoins even get minimal inflows, I feel like we will see massive outperformance. Because everyone who wanted to buy Bitcoin has basically bought, I think. You get some rotation from equities, but a lot of people might have wanted exposure to certain altcoins but couldn't buy them. Because it takes so much more money to move Bitcoin. Like usually when Bitcoin would break its prior all-time high, I'd go into price discovery and like absolutely moon. That's what happened previously. It just didn't, there's so much sell pressure up here. Like 2017, right? Break the all-time high into price discovery. That's when mainstream media attention came. Same with here. Maybe I should pull it up on a different chart because it's kind of annoying with all these lines. I don't want to delete them. But you get the most vertical rise after clearing the all-time high. But here, it barely did anything and it came back and retested it. Just way weaker than previous all-time high breaks. That's because the money driving it is not, is more, you know, not as vulnerable to FOMO. I think Bitcoin just hasn't really scared retail, but I think they're looking for maybe they're smarter. Maybe they actually know Bitcoin doesn't have that much upside. Why would they buy it at 100K plus? I don't think many people believe it can rally to $1 million in a short amount of time. You want this? You want to go to that place tomorrow? Huh? Yeah, if Litecoin was dead, why would others adopt it? I mean, why would it be the fastest growing proof of work chain? Why would it outpace Dogecoin by 10x, Bitcoin Cash by 10x? I mean, median transaction values skew this. Like, total real transactions probably like 10K a day for a BCH. But price is higher. Like, if it was dead, it wouldn't pass all these others. In payouts and payments. Is really the only thing that matters long term. It just needs to be monetized at higher average value ranges. Then it's over. Then people look at it as a store of value. Or price pumps, or both together. Yeah, the crowd is all in things that are advertised and sold to them. Litecoin is not advertised or sold. If anything, it's like has negative press. There's really no argument against it if it does pump. What can you say? It's the same security model as Bitcoin. It's a copy chain. It's a useless copy, but more people use it than BTC, so there's no real argument to be made that Bitcoin is better if more people are using Litecoin. I mean, you can say that over and over again just because you hold a lot of it, but it's literally the same thing as Bitcoin. Yeah, I think a lot of people do know. That's why that's why the trend is changing and why LitVM came in. I think it was after BitPay and BitRef started talking about it being the most used. I don't think anyone really foresaw it. A few maybe, but I was alone for so long thinking that Bitcoin wouldn't scale because you had to go against all the crowd psychology about everyone pumping credit layers like lightning. And they just shifted from credit layers like Lightning being the go-to solution to everything to the government. Government like institutionalization scaling Bitcoin, which is way worse. Lightning had a way higher chance of scaling Bitcoin than the actual institution that Bitcoin was meant to disrupt. Yeah. I don't think many people see the vertical potential in transaction migration that I explained in a video on my channel. In modeling the Litecoin repricing. What is possible? Because you get exponential migration for linear increases in the fee level above certain specific fee ranges. Right? It's like at $50 fees, like yeah, you'll price out lower value transactions, like anything 500 and below, because likely people won't pay more than 10% in fees. But once you start moving up to, you know, $100, then you price everything under it. Price out everything under $1,000, and there's way more transactions between 500 and 1,000, or way more total volume being sent at that range. And if you move up to 110, 20, like you just exponentially price out more and more total value sent on the chain, and it will be forced to leave. And historically, that goes to Litecoin, because it's the most similar thing you can get with the most similar level of merchant acceptance. So if it does happen that way, yeah, if we get ETF approval, institutional floodgates open, and Bitcoin gets this massive final blow off, I think masters targets will actually happen because it's super illiquid. Supply is less restricted. It's like if Bitcoin got an ETF at $400 and it grew in transactional adoption to its current levels like in 3 months. So you have like massive narrative change, massive transactional migration, fundamental demand that can push price like vertically, and then going from zero speculative interest and people thinking it's dead to literally being the most dominant Bitcoin chain. And I think it'll convince a lot of Bitcoin treasury companies and Bitcoin only people to move out of FOMO. Like, I want to just hold Bitcoin long term, and if this is the dominant one, why would you not hold some of it? And so that repricing potential is super high. And yeah, we just need yeah, the multitude of catalysts I think will come together all at once. And there's no real historical precedent for this. I mean, Dogecoin rallied off memes and hype after being compressed for a long time, having low volatility. Litecoin's length of consolidation is much longer, so compression is tighter. The adoption sets are higher with the potential to pass Bitcoin or BTC. So you have like a 1,000% plus potential gain in price just from fundamental growth if those higher value transactions migrate. And then you have kind of like the speculative mania where nobody owns it and search interest is lower than 2013 and it goes literally insane to higher than Bitcoin. Because it will challenge the most dominant narrative in the space and overturn it. It's massive. There's never been there's nothing you can look at in the past that kind of explains this potential future. No chart or TA can tell you this. So if it happens like I've been expecting, it will be historic. It's not just a meme coin pump, not just Bitcoin positive reflexivity and narrative momentum. It's literally fundamental strength plus mania at the end of a long-term credit cycle where stocks, crypto, everything is entering blow off, gold, silver. And Litecoin being the top performing altcoin will surprise so many people because the narrative, like their realities are built around this collective myth of Bitcoin being something special. And so it will seem like impossible to them until it happens. They won't believe it. But I am so confident if Bitcoin's gonna rally like this, given like 400 million people having price exposure, with 400,000 transactions fit through the chain a day, like there will be massive long-term holder profit taking, people trying to take self-custody, potentially ordinals and runes, meme coin, trading on Bitcoin, increasing. Like, I don't. It can be really crazy. ETH fees were like $100+ in 2021. That's what drove all these other alts, proof of stake chains to dominance. And it can do like 1.6 million transactions a day. Bitcoin will get even more congested. That's literally what happened to ETH. It had full blocks, and then it couldn't grow anymore, so competitors were able to take market share. If ETH scaled, that would have never happened. ETH would have retained like 90+% dominance in proof of stake. It went from like 90+% to 50%. That's why you saw 100x in Cardano and all these other proof of stake chains. The same thing can happen, but there's just not many decentralized monies that can compete. The vast majority should go to the second dominant Bitcoin chain, Litecoin. So the upside potential is stupid. But a lot of these popular traders who just follow momentum and technical analysis and stuff that's happened in the past would never see it. And they're paying attention to way too many coins. I'm thinking about this market in a totally different way. ETF, I mean, October 2nd, so next Thursday, is the deadline, so it should trade Friday, assuming it's approved, which seems like it will be. I think the flows at first won't be dramatic unless price breaks out during that time. But I think over the first few months it will dramatically outperform expectations and then continue. Like, imagine we do get this high time frame breakout above all-time highs. The narrative has changed. People look at Bitcoin at 150K or 170K and Litecoin at $1,000. And if they're told the truth that they're both the same thing with similar network effects, why would you buy the more expensive one? So yeah. Let's see. Good CPI news. Yeah, people were excited about rate cuts, but it was the expectation that drove the price rally into it. Markets are always forward-looking. I mean, stocks performed well. Bitcoin's, crypto market's got to catch up. I'd like to see Total 3 break this all-time high and not sit here forever. Reminds me kind of back here when the S&P was just sitting at all-time highs, then broke down. How long has it been? It's been about an hour and a half. I think I'll probably go to sleep here in like 15 minutes. I appreciate you guys hanging out. I was here twice today, not a whole lot to say. But if you weren't here for the beginning, wave basis has been pretty accurate of late, really since the highs. I'm just calling for this deep pullback since here. Obviously it went way deeper than it said, but still directionally correct. And then it was calling this a completed wave 1 here with a pullback. Maybe it goes a bit deeper, but there's a lot of support here. And if this is correct, the high time frame breakup comes next as soon as, who knows, as soon as next week. So that's what I think. So a little bit more boringness. Maybe next week's the week. Oh, what's up, Kaku? Yeah, I forgot. Let's look at Verge. Look, I don't know. My analysis is primarily like fundamental, then on-chain and macro economic analysis. And I use technical analysis kind of to overlay and check my bias. And I haven't heard of this really at all since 2017. I know it went up massively. I know it's a privacy focused coin. But I don't even know where you can check transaction stats. It doesn't have it here. It's hard for me to even know. Like, I have no opinion on Verge. I really have no idea because I haven't paid attention to it. You probably know more than me. How did you hear about this? Like, did you hear about it in 2017? Was it? This was one of the top performers. It went up 2 million%. Yeah, sorry, Kaku. I don't know. It doesn't look that strong to me. Where is this even traded at? Because it's not even showing volume. This is not the right thing. Like, did it get delisted? You have some evidence of accumulation here. Somebody's buying it on these. Moves up. I don't know if I would even use fibs here. This structure just looks corrective to me. He's having these massive pumps and dumps back down to the lows. What the heck? Where did the longer term chart go? Wonder why all these exchanges added in 2023. I don't know. It's the crypto market. It's pretty low market cap asset. If somebody wanted to pump it, I'm sure they could, but I don't know. I stick to what I understand, and I have the privacy sector is pretty crowded. Right, you have Monero, Zcash. The only one that has like a real strong community and small adoption increases Monero, but I don't even like it. 'Cause it's kind of gone sideways. Yeah, sorry, I'm not that well versed in strict technical analysis on something I haven't paid attention to or don't understand what's going to drive its fundamental growth. The chart doesn't look that bullish. Only thing is it's a super low cap asset, and if there's some holder large enough, they can pump it on thin volume. What if I can't look at, if I don't know what's going to drive its growth long term or how it's going to compete uniquely in the privacy sector with a lot of competition, I just avoid it. I know from the beginning what was driving Litecoin's growth, and I know it's the only chain positioned right now to take Bitcoin overflow, and I have this long-term view that the demand for Bitcoin's security model will increase and that this same process will keep happening. And I know that I'm like far more familiar with the technical structure, the on-chain data. It's like I've spent a lot of hours analyzing it from every angle, and I'd have to understand the privacy sector of crypto more to even have an opinion. So sorry, I can't help you really. Alright guys, I'm gonna go to sleep. Thanks for hanging out. Like and subscribe if you haven't. Yeah, thanks for not getting mad at me. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Good night, friends.